Welcome to another episode of PEP. Topic for today, thread milling cutters, basic types.
Hello together. Exactly, Paul. Another manufacturing option for making threads. Interesting topic. First we should explain what is a thread milling cutter and what is its function.
Right, Peter. A thread milling cutter is a chip producing tool. But compared to a tab, thread milling cutters do not have any lead angle or their profile is perpendicular to the tool axis. Furthermore, thread milling cutters have a smaller in diameter than the thread, which is being produced. In order to produce a thread with it, the machine must carry out a helical movement with a rotating tool. This works with a 3-axis movement in X, Y, Z on a CNC machine.
Up front, a couple of tips for you. You can make internal and external threads with a thread milling cutter. You are independent in thread tolerance. With some types you can even mill different pitch and thread sizes with one tool. With other types it is possible to drill and thread at the same time using a thread milling cutter. With the same tool I can produce right and left hand threads. Paul, but what are the requirements to use a thread milling cutter?
Well, Peter, on the workpiece side we require no interfering edges, if possible, to ensure the short length of the tool and adaptation. This means keeping the chuck length, including the tool, as short as possible. Also, a stable workpiece clamping to avoid vibrations.
Exactly, Paul. Not to forget, on the machine side, of course, we need a CNC machine with 3-dimensional path control, in which the X, Y and Z axis can be controlled together, really, as well as a rigid and accurate tool holder. Important is the internal coolant supply for cooling and chip removal.
But Peter, surely I need programs for this. Where do I get them for my machine?
There are several possibilities. On the one hand, there are fixed stored thread milling programs or cycles in the machine. Then, of course, we also create programming examples to do the program manually, and the skilled programmer creates them by himself on the machine.
In the world of thread milling cutters, of course, there are also different basic types. These can be divided into 2 groups. The first group requires a pilot hole. The second does not. So let's start with the basic types with required pilot hole.
First, you see the GF, thread milling cutter. It is a pitch fix tool, has an internal coolant supply, and this type can produce dimension and tolerance independent, for example, 6H or 6G or oversized threads. Also suitable for the production of internal and external threads.
The second basic type is the so-called GSF thread countersinking cutter for the production of internal threads. This is a pitch and dimensional fixed tool. The advantage is that it can mill the thread and create a countersink chamfer on the borehole.
The next type is a tapered thread mill. This tool is made for the production of tapered internal threads, for example NPD and NPDF.
For smaller thread dimensions, from M1, there is the ZGF thread milling cutter. This is a pitch fix tool and can cover a certain range of dimensions.
For large dimensions, beginning M20, we have our Gigant IC. It is suitable for the production of large internal and external threads. It can be equipped with up to 10 inserts which can be used several times. It can be used for a wide range of different dimensions and pitch.
Okay, let's move on to our second group of thread milling cutters, which are used without pilot hole.
First, we start with our BGF, the drill thread milling cutter. This is for the production of internal threads with a special feature. It makes a complete machining. It means core hole, countersink and thread in one operation. It is dimension and lead fixed. It is used in short shipping materials such as grey cast iron or cast aluminium.
Our last tool is the so-called ZBGF, the Circular Drill Thread Mill Cutter. No pilot hole is required with this one. It is designated for the production of internal threads and is pitch fixed.
As you have already noticed, the background of the different types of thread milling cutter is always the application, the workpiece and material condition, and of course, large or small series production.
But Peter, did we forget any feature?
Oh, of course, excuse. Thank you, Paul. Don't forget that all thread mills, no matter the material being machined, produce nice little comma chips. These are very easy to handle for the chip removal. For more information about our thread milling cutters, please visit our website.
Or subscribe our YouTube channel, or you can visit us on Instagram.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
see you.